Hello everyone. Today I am Rishabh Bhardwaj, Assistant Professor from the Mechanical Department, taking the lecture of Automobile Engineering for the semester 6th. Today in this lecture, we will discuss about the sources of atmospheric pollution from the automobile. As we know that we have a lots of pollution in our environment, and in somehow the automobile is also be a factor to for the same. Let's discuss how it emits the pollution and how much in quantity and why they are polluting the environment as such so far. Yes, let's go for the introduction part. That is the automotive emission in aggravating the air pollution and the various causes of the genesis and exodus of these pollutants and have been identified and method of the control them has to be outlined. The three main automotive vehicle being used in our country, these are the like passenger cars that are powered by the four stroke gasoline engines. Then second we have a motorcycle in which some scooters and auto rickshaws and which are the powered by the only two stroke engines in the earlier time. Now the four stroke gasoline engines are has been installed in the motorcycle as well as the scooter. Next we have a large buses and the trucks which are powered by the four stroke diesel engine. Next, we have a emission from gasoline powered vehicle. This is a gasoline powered vehicle which has been classified in three emissions. That is a exhaust emission, crankcase emission, and the evaporative emission. The amount of pollutant that an automobile emit depend upon the number of factors including the design and the operation. The diesel power engine creates relative minor pollution problem compared to gasoline powered ones. The major problem of diesel engine are smoke and odor. Let's discuss first about the exhaust emission. The most important that is the exhaust emission. We have the emission gasoline engines which may exhaust some gases like carbon monoxide, unburnt hydrocarbons, oxides of nitrogen and particulates like residuals. Automobile manufacturers have used two basic methods. The first is to inject manifold near the exhaust involves, where exhaust gas temperature is highest and thus inducing further oxidation of unoxidized or partially oxidized substance. The second basic method is to design cylinder and adjust fuel air ratio and sparking timing and other variables to reduce the amount of hydrocarbons and the carbon monoxide. We have several devices and the methods to control hydrocarbons emissions fall into the three categories. The devices that modify engine operating conditions such as intake manifold, vacuum brakes, carburetion mixture, improver and throttle retarders. The devices that treat exhaust gases such as afterburner, catalyst converter, absorber and the filters. And the use of modifies the alternate fuels. Then in the next category, we have evaporative emissions. It has been estimated that an average Indian passenger car would emit about 20 kg of hydrocarbons through evaporation annually. It might also be dealt with by changing the property of gasoline, such as reducing the volatility of fuel and replacing the C4 and C5 olefinic hydrocarbons in the fuel with the less reactive C4 and C5 paraffinic hydrocarbons. The mechanical method that can be also be used to control evaporative emissions. The exhaust gas pollutants comprise of hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, and lead compounds. Let's discuss how the formation of photochemical smog. The deleterious effect of automotive pollutants include the toxic effect of carbon monoxide and lead compounds and the formation of photochemical smog. The chief culprits in the smog dilemma are voluntarily lower concentration of unburnt or partial burnt hydrocarbons and nitrogen oxide. The necessary condition for smog formation are sufficient quantity and concentration of unburnt hydrocarbons with the nitrogen oxide in the atmosphere. The next we have the stagnant atmospheric condition that produces by the metallurgical thermal inversion. Third, we have the factor that is the strong sunlight. As you can see in this figure, we have the different abbreviations in this figure. That NO stands for the nitric oxide, NO2 represents the nitrogen dioxide, HU denotes the sunlight energy, where O3 shows the ozone. Here the HC stands for hydrocarbons and O2 stands for oxygen and O is the atomic oxygen. Now we have some group compounds, that is RO. Here RO is stands for the oxy alkyl radical and RCO, that is alkyl radical. NCO3 NO2Z represents the compound of X acyl and RCHO is aldehyde. R star stands for the alkyl radial and RO2 it's peroxy alkyl radical and RONO2 is alkyl nitrate. These are the formations for which the carbon smog will be produced, and in the category 5 to 7 emit the hydrocarbons, and from 10 to 12 the whole completely shows the oxides of nitrogen. In the next table you can see how the pollution typical emission level and the control standards. We have maintained and make a standard chart by which we are able to recognize the pollutants in the environment caused by the automobile. In the exhaust gases, we have a hydrocarbon, carbon monoxide and the oxides of nitrogen, by which 860 ppm, 3.1% and 1500 ppm respectively has been taken the typical emission. And then we calculate the values that estimated pollution by per car per day, that will be the 337 gram, then 2150 gram and 114 gram respectively. Simultaneously, we will also observe that the crankshaft and or the blow by the tank fuel hydrocarbons, that rating are 2 point, that will be the 164 gram and 114 gram respectively. And the percentage of total hydrocarbons contribution by the driving nodes, that are also be noted. In this we have the major factors that we are considering, that are idling at the ideal position, then accelerating, cruising and deaccelerating. These all factors are being considered for the betterment and the percentage of, for the calculating of total percentage of hydrocarbons contributing by the drivings. Next we have a air fuel ratio. The air fuel ratio is the ratio between the air and the fuel, in which some quantity of air and such quantity of fuel has been taken, and the mixture of which it will be supplied to the engine. A decrease in air fuel ratio increases the hydrocarbon content in the exhaust of passenger cars at idle, but does not have any effect at the part of throttle. Methane and acetylene are the two hydrocarbons that are most greatly affected by the air fuel ratio. Then next we have a spark timing. The hydrocarbon emission generally decreases as the spark is retreated at the constant power. And the combined effect of air fuel ratio and the spark timing cause the reduction in hydrocarbon emission due to leaner air fuel ratio and due to retarded spark timing are addictive. Next we have the combustion chamber surface volume, by which we are able to reduce the values or the volume of, or we can say the compression ratio. The effect of combustion chamber SV, surface volume ratio, on the exhaust emission have been investigated by the stiffer scientists. Now the engines with surface volume ratio covering a wide range were installed in cars and tested according to the California schedule, by which we are able to recognize the hydrocarbons and the surface volume ratio effect to the whole, by which we are able to draw this graph, and this graph shows the sometimes the carbon monoxide in the linear positions and the carbon dioxide percentage as well. In the hydrocarbons are increasing if the surface volume ratio increases. It has been found that when surface volume is decreased by decreasing the compression ratio, a greater reduction in hydrocarbon emission is obtained. That when surface volume is decreased by changing the other variables. In the variables that affect the surface ratio, that are the variables are increase in compression ratio, that can be increased 7 to 10, and increase in the number of cylinders. If we increase the number of cylinders then 4 to 8, then the effect of surface volume will be increased. Or we can increase the stroke bore ratio, it will decrease to 0.8 to 1.14, and increase in the displacement also decreases rapidly to 2458 to 7374 cubic centimeter. Next in this category we have a combustion chamber deposits. In the combustion chamber deposits, the hydrocarbon exhaust emission are significantly enhanced with accumulation of chamber deposits. During the combustion, these pores and their interconnecting passengers are filled with unburnt hydrocarbons and escape burning. These are discharged back at the atmosphere during the exhaust in the same state and increasing the emission level considerably. Uniform distribution of deposits is like to provide more void space for the adsorption on unburnt hydrocarbon during combustion, thereby rising exhaust level. Next we have a control of exhaust emission. How can we control the exhaust emission? By which the two main approaches has been considered. First is modification in the engine design and operating variable. We can change the design of the automobile and the engines for the same. And second we have the treatment of exhaust gases after emission from the engine, by which we are able to reduce much exhaust gases or the toxic substance. The following modification may help in cleaning the exhaust, as we can use the linear ideal mixture of the air fuel ratio and the use of linear possible mixture and the maximum spark retard compatible with good power output and drivability. The use of minimum valve and overlap are necessary. Pre-treatment of the mixture to improve vaporization and mixing of fuel with air. Among the method of the employed for the purposes are use the narrow ventures to produce higher air speed and better fuel or automation. Provision of exhaust treated hot spots to vaporize the heavier liquid droplet in the airstream. The use of exhaust heat to preheat the mixture at part loads. The use of automatic transmission may decrease the values of emission, and the special devices for reducing the cutting of fuel supply during the deacceleration. In this figure you can see that the carbon monoxide level are very high when we have the air fuel ratio as at the rich level. Simultaneously it will decreases when we lean the mixture, and the hydrocarbons is also high at the richer and decreases with the values of increasing air fuel ratio. At the linear that we taken as the 15 as the air fuel ratio, the oxides of nitrogen is much higher but the values of carbon monoxide and the hydrocarbons is very less, which are very highly toxic in the nature as well. Exhaust treatment devices. For the promotion of afterburning of the pollutants by exhaust heat conversion, the introduction of additional air, and by providing sufficient volume to ensure adequate reaction time. And simultaneously we can use the catalyst converters. The catalyst converters depend upon the action of the catalyst containing and certain exotic chemical to the convert hydrocarbons and carbon monoxide to their oxidized product. However, there have been certain limitation that poisoning of catalyst by lead compound in fuel, deterioration with time and pressure loss, and the noise problems. And the other methods are the petrol injection, that the petrol injection system provides the flexibility needed to meet the engine requirement and eliminates the power of mixture distribution together, and hence has a lower level of exhaust emission and better specific fuel consumption. Next we have stratified charge engine. It operates with very linear but air fuel mixture depending upon the localized rich mixture region near the spark plug to initiate the combustion. Next we have nitrogen oxide in exhaust gas. The concentration of nitrogen oxide in exhaust gas is found to depend mainly on the peak temperature and the pressure and the supplied air fuel mixture is composed. The nitrogen oxide concentration rises rapidly as the mixture is made leaner around the psychometric ratio of 14.6. The table shows the engine variable affecting nitrogen oxide concentration in the exhaust gases, by which we have several factors that leaner the mixture ratio, advancing the spark timing, increasing the engine load, increasing the compression ratio, and increasing the engine speed as well. The concentration and the values that may affect or the following methods have been tried to reduce the concentration of oxide and nitrogen, by which we are able to make that exhaust gas recycling, water injection into inlet manifold, exhaust manifold reactor with recycling, and catalyst reduction and lean operation, by which we are able to graph several components that may increase the values. As you can see from the no recycle, the values are decreasing and much higher. Then when we recycle up to 10%, the values are started with the 2000 and goes to the lower limit. Then we come to 15% recycle, then 20% and 30%, by which we are able to reduce the values at the fuel ratio less, and evenly the low even the nitric oxides low at the lower values. Next we have a control of evaporative emission. There are two sources of evaporative emission. That will be the fuel tank and the carburetor. The principal factor governing the tank emission are fuel volatility, ambient temperature, and the tank emission. The carburetor emission may be divided into two categories. First is running loss occurring during engine operation, and second is hot soak losses occurring when the vehicle is parked. Then we have alternate methods to resolve the pollution problem, that we can switch to electric cars, natural gases, Vankyle engine, gas turbine, ammonia fueled spark engine system or engine, then unleaded gasoline powered spark ignition engine. We can switch over to these alternatives by which we can able to reduce the pollutant or pollution in the environment. And the air pollution is due to the automobile. That NEERI, the NERI, carried out a short survey in Calcutta to collect the information on the level of carbon monoxide pollution due to the automobile exhaust. It is a survey done by in the NERI organization in the Calcutta, and it has been that the high traffic density streets in Calcutta were studied by the measurement or the measuring the value of carbon monoxide level during the different phases of the traffic. The factors and the location that they have allotted or by which they have been observed the values at that are the heavy traffic. Second, we have the traffic jam with slow movement, and third with the normal and the light traffic. It was observed that the level of carbon monoxide due to the auto exhaust at the street level varies from high as 35 part per million to the less than 10 part million at all selected street depending upon the traffic condition. Simultaneously, the other factors also be considered and the other values are also be calculated. The Calcutta data shows that although the number of vehicle in Indian cities is smaller as compared to the western cities, and yet the intensity of the pollution caused by them is apparently the same and if not more. And as compared to the London street, that the part per million in a 1 hour, that is a 58, and in Chicago it's 46, in LA it's 43, in Washington it's 41, and New York 27, and the Calcutta is 35, and approximately in the second last position the Calcutta comes. It means the polluting level is much lower in India as compared to the other western countries, and this can be attributed to the old vehicles with poor engine performance, and by which we are able to recognize the values of pollution contents in the environment and the factors that affecting the air pollution. Even we have studied today the emission control methods by which we are able to reduce the values of toxic substance, and also we have the alternatives to the vehicles by which we are able to reduce or replace the toxic pollutants, that is the electric cars, natural gases, alternate fuels, biofuels, biodiesels, biomass fuels can be used for this for the purpose for this purpose, and we are able to reduce the values as such so far. For today, for this session, it's come to an end, and stay tuned for the next video, by which we are also in the next video we will also discuss the same emissions control methods and some devices that are using in these days recently. And thank you for watching this video.